just you and me forever.
Do you take this woman as your lawful wedded wife?
Ooh, yeah! Oh,
Place the ring on her finger and repeat after me. With this ring,
no. With this ring,
I thee wed.
I thee wed.
Hello and welcome to With This Ring, episode 62. I'm Ryan Everett.
I'm Cindy Everett.
And tonight we will continue our trek through 1999 WWF with Survivor Series 1999. But before we get to the event itself, there's quite a bit of build-up.
Yeah.
Some interesting feuds forming.
There's the main one I'm thinking about, the Big Boss Man.
Yes.
He's really just antagonizing the Big Show.
Yeah,
it's not so much
we find out that the Big Show's dad has cancer.
Sorry,
and
I'm not laughing at that part.
Well, no, it's ridiculous.
Right. Is this
that, he would broadcast it,
right.
talk about it out loud.
Is this the new writers doing, you think?
Yes.
Okay. So who's the new head writer?
Well, there's a couple of guys. At this point, it's kind of jumbled.
Okay.
There's a group of guys that are coming in, older wrestlers, and they're also starting to go into the television writer direction also.
Okay.
So those guys would end up doing more of the promos.
Okay.
And then the actual building of the feuds though would be done by the older wrestlers who are still at the helm.
Okay, so someone had a brilliant idea
to make the Big Show sympathetic, apparently. And to do that, you have the Big Boss Man just repeatedly making fun of him for his dad dying.
Yeah. Which is very mean-spirited.
Yes. Including, of course, the great, my daddy, wah, when he paid off a cop.
That's pretty good.
To tell the Big Show that his dad had died.
Yeah, that was low. So they're definitely amping the drama now.
Yes. And I should note that both Paul White's dad had died about 6 years earlier, and his kayfabe dad, Andre the Giant, had also been dead for about 6 years. So.
Okay, so it wasn't life imitating art or anything.
Right. His dad might have died of cancer, but
it wasn't a fresh.
Yeah, it wasn't a fresh wound.
Okay.
Which would be part of the course for Vince McMahon, but
that's true. All right, so we got that going on. Oh,
and then so
DX Nights.
Yeah, so they're
trying to recapture that early 1998 energy.
Yeah, so it's the Outlaws versus Steve Austin and The Rock, and much like when the Outlaws joined the first time, Triple H and X-Pac come out now and interfere in a tag match and form. And now Chyna, though, has gone her own way.
Oh, okay.
Because she, not only did she win the Intercontinental title at No Mercy, she also somehow inherited Miss Kitty.
Oh, yeah.
Who started dressing up as her, mini-me.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
Yeah.
We're a lot bizarre.
And she's the Intercontinental Champion. We'll get it to her when we get to her on the show, but... Yeah, so DX is formed, and they're different than they used to be. They're not so much mooning the crowd and stuff, but it's more about keeping the title around Triple H.
Okay, all right. So they're not being as crazy.
Yeah, they still. The Road Dogg, of course, still has to say his catchphrase, even though he doesn't understand that he's trying to be a heel.
No.
Because that's everyone's going to sing along and cheer it.
Yeah, but why would I guess if you really wanted to be the heel, you'd stop it.
Right. Yeah.
But he likes the attention too much, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to go tag team champion.
Well, of course.
I don't have it memorized, but I definitely know the first part. Oh, you didn't know?
Well, of course, everyone.
Oh, okay. Your ass better call somebody. Anyways, and then now that the Rock and Sock connection is disbanded,
yes,
Mankind's with Al Snow.
Yep.
And they're versus the Hollies.
Yes.
Well, I think the only reason that was tell me about the action figure.
So, a week earlier, I think, a week or so earlier, in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the big newspaper, some professor from some college wrote in with a picture of the Al Snow figure.
Right.
And was claiming that it was promoting dismemberment and domestic violence. Because it was a severed head.
Right.
Not a mannequin head.
So they didn't realize it was a mannequin head?
No. So they thought that it was like glorifying murder.
Gotcha.
And Walmart got like so scared of this that they pulled the figure. And of course, me hearing that, I ran up to Toys R Us, got the figure for $12, and last time I looked on eBay, sold for a cool $15.
Oh, I thought you were say $15,000.
No.
So you can still get one now?
Yeah, pretty easily.
So Walmart did not have anything to worry about.
I mean,
they probably weren't going to. That probably gave more attention.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, definitely. Like, yeah, that helped give Al Snow something to do.
Yeah.
So this match though is.
Do you know what, have you read the letter in the Atlanta Constitution Journal? Is that on?
I think I didn't. It was probably around at the time. But
yeah. No one scans it in.
Yeah. So. In this match, Mankind and Al Snow win the tag titles, but since SmackDown was taped, Mankind Mick Foley in his second book, talks about how it was one of the worst matches he ever had.
Oh, really?
They had to edit so many mistakes of him falling down out.
Really? Yeah. So
he went to Vince McMahon afterwards and said that he thinks he has to retire. And then he also points out how a couple of times he's gotten lost going home.
Yeah.
So Vince McMahon hears that and is like, well, that's it, you're done. And Mick Foley's like, well, wait, I'm not done. I want to have a nice little run to finish out. And then also, as we see later in the show, an even bigger star goes down.
Oh, yeah.
And he will be out for a while. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
But so there was going to be, and we'll see with the next pay-per-view, there's a big power vacuum of top faces.
Yeah, I was going to say, without Steve Austin and Mankind.
And if Big Show's the champ, he's not really, he's a face, but he's not top level yet.
So this is more like The Rock and Triple H then carrying the next pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Interesting. All right, well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Well, there was a lot of crap we have to talk about first.
Right, so Mankind and Al Snow are the tag champs, but then I think they lose them on SmackDown before the Survivor Series and then get a shot at them at Survivor Series.
Got it.
I think that's how it worked.
I'll defer to you. And then we have Kurt Angle's debut. That was fun.
Yes, so he had his promos leading up to it, talking about how he's
a real
athlete, the most honored real athlete in WWF history.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's pretty obvious what they're going for.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
but that's fine. It doesn't have to be subtle.
No, yeah, it was a good way to do it. Because it was very similar actually to the Rocky Maivia promos 3 years earlier, where the idea was the opposite, getting him over as a great athlete, and just a good guy all around. And
now it's the Attitude Era. Being bad is good.
Yeah,
so.
Being a nerd is bad.
Well, you've been arrogant too, right?
Yeah,
he really makes a.
Well, that's the thing. It's not just that he's a nerd or that he's
too seriously.
Yeah, it's also that he's too arrogant and smug about it.
Yeah, and then Scotty Too Hot and Grandmaster Sexay.
Yeah, so the former Too Much.
I never remember that was Too Much. Did we watch anything Too Much?
Yeah, the only one on pay-per-view they had, I think, was versus Al Snow and Head.
Oh yeah, Head and Shoulders.
Yeah, so it's Jerry Lawler's kid.
That's right.
And Scott Taylor, and they had been Too Much, and towards the end of, they didn't get a lot of pay-per-view time, obviously, but they were starting to turn gay, and were going to be married at the Valentine's Day Massacre pay-per-view.
How progressive!
But then I think one of them tore up their knee. They were out for 6 months, and when they came back, they decided not to have a gay wedding, and instead they became hip hop fans.
Right, clearly.
Yeah, the logical progression.
Different direction. Yeah, right. Okay, and then what else we got? DX versus Kane.
Yeah,
Steve Austin.
Yeah, the Survivor Series style match.
Pre-Survivor Series, Survivor Series.
Yeah,
match.
Which I was kind of surprised that they put DX together and then didn't have it be a Survivor Series style match at Survivor Series, because then you don't have to worry about defending the title or anything like that.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it didn't go that way.
Yeah. Triple H wins. They're definitely starting the long Triple H push that lasts the next 20 years.
Yeah, 25 years.
25, yeah, right. Yeah, he's still around.
Yep, he's in charge.
He doesn't really wrestle that much.
No, he actually retired in ring
Wrestling
because he
in-ring.
had a heart thing.
Yeah, probably a good call.
Yeah.
All right, so we got ready for the actual show.
Yes, I think we're ready.
Which is where? I forget.
Detroit.
Detroit.
The Joe Louis Arena, November 14th. So not, I think it was about a week and a half before Thanksgiving. Not the night before, the night of, like it traditionally was.
Gotcha.
By this point, though, they had moved to the Sundays.
Okay. All right. Well, this is the Godfather. I think the Godfather is the new like Jeff Jarrett star.
Yes,
because he's
definitely.
got all the hoes, and you're right. People get into it. He's good. He's a good wrestler, so it works out.
And this is so all three of these survivors. Well, no. Oh, excuse me. Not the last one with the tag teams, but the first few Survivor Series matches had like no build up whatsoever. So that helps to add to the show, the quality of the show.
Right. So the Godfather, D'Lo Brown, and the Headbangers versus the Acolytes and the Dudleys. Yeah, the Godfather just kind of hangs out the whole time.
Yeah.
But good for him. Yeah, boy, once again, like a bigger match, not just Jeff Jarrett smashing his guitar on someone's head.
Right, and this was kind of more with the heels, like progressing the Dudleys Acolytes feud more than the feud with the Godfather or anything, because they end up brawling to the back at one point. But
right,
it's just it's a happy. D'Lo Brown gets something to do because he had lost the European title.
Oh,
he's kind of getting depushed after the whole paralyzing draws thing.
Oh, gotcha. When did that happen?
Early October.
Okay. Obviously didn't happen at the pay-per-view.
No, it happened at a Smackdown taping, but then it never aired, obviously.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, I've noticed he hasn't been around as much.
Yeah, so they're kind of, giving him an easy stand here. Team with the Godfather for a little while.
Yeah.
Take some edge off.
Right. I didn't even write down who won. It was the Godfather, right?
It was Godfather and D'Lo.
Yeah.
Were the survivors.
The survivors, yep. Yeah, and then we have Kurt Angle fighting
Sean Stasiak. Who was formerly Meat with PMS.
Oh,
he never made it to pay-per-view.
I was going to say it doesn't sound like it.
He was PMS's love slave.
Okay.
And sometimes he had to wrestle with a boner. That was the big joke.
What?
Yeah.
All right, well. Never mind.
But Kurt Angle soundly defeats Sean Stasiak, but he's working a very slow pace to start. And suddenly the crowd starts to chant boring. Yeah. So then he rolls out, gets the mic, and tells them that you do not boo an Olympic gold medalist.
Right. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny hearing his music and people not shouting you. So
yeah.
When does that start?
About a year and a half into his run.
Really? People didn't think about that sooner?
It was different then. It was new. Now it's second nature, but...
The heckling, like John Cena sucks, I'm sure came out pretty quickly.
That did, yes. Because that was following You Suck, so people are used to it now.
So who's the genius who did credit the You Suck chant to?
I don't know.
Oh, never will know. Okay, and then...
Then we have one of the oddest Survivor Series matches ever.
Yeah, there's a lot of odd
the British Bulldog and Mainstream Posse had at least been kind of hanging out for a while because they hated Shane McMahon.
Right.
But... Gangrel, Mark Henry, Steve Blackman, and Val Venus.
That's quite the ragtag
group. They had none of these two groups had interacted with each other at all lately. Gangrel had barely been on TV.
Oh yeah, once Edge and Christian beat him up, right?
Yeah, that was like a month ago. Yeah, he had.
They could not just release him from his contract and then move on, get on with his life.
No, they needed to keep him around, and then. So yeah, the Main Street Posse are eliminated pretty quickly, and then
I always like seeing them around.
Then the Bulldog gets 2 quick eliminations, and then Mark Henry and Val Venus team up to eliminate the British Bulldog.
Yeah,
and there is no follow up to this anyway.
Oh really?
Mark Henry and Val Venus are not a team or anything.
Never talk to each other again.
I think eventually Val Venus fights the British Bulldog for the European title, but they could have gotten there any other way.
Right. And then next we have the women's.
Yes.
Which is a lot, like I said, the match is shorter than all the entrances.
Yeah. Before the match, we have Michael Cole in the heel women's locker room.
That's right, obviously. You need to get
where
some gratuities.
Jackie's shoving her boobs in his face.
Yeah. He looks so young and skinny. But yeah, I mean, like we were just watching before this what was on the
Oh yeah, Smackdown.
the Smackdown. It's like the women's divisions come a
long way
in
from
25
Deborah
years.
and the Fabulous
Good for them.
Moolah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the match goes a minute 52 and ends with a Fabulous Moolah splash.
Yeah. Well, I like how the old ladies get the win. But yeah. What did JR say? Like, oh, if you watch it in slow motion, it's like watching it in slow motion.
Yeah.
He's right. They have the form. They just don't have the speed.
And then next, a lot of quick matches here tonight. And then some that aren't as quick. Kane,
that I wish were quick.
Yeah, Kane defeats X-Pac by DQ in 4 minutes.
Yeah, what was up with that being so short?
I think this was just the start of the feud.
Okay.
And they knew it wasn't going to get enough time tonight, so they were going to kind of just save it for when they'll have more opportunity.
So why'd they even bother with the match then?
Well,
just to
you
kind
gotta
of
have
set the stage.
It wouldn't make sense for X-Pac and Kane not to be booked for something.
Yeah. Well, they could have put Kane instead of Gangrel in that last one. Or not the last one,
right.
not the women's one.
He should have been in the women's, yeah. Get out of here, Luna. Kane's in.
Yeah, right.
Then next,
another very odd match.
Yeah, so originally it was supposed to be the Big Show with Kai and Tai and the Blue Meanie.
Right.
But the Big Show wanted nothing to do with that, as he throws them around in the locker room beforehand. And
Kai and Tai's not around too much either.
no, they're mainly a Sunday Night Heat level team.
Gotcha.
Not really making too many waves.
Gotcha. So basically...
And of course we should mention that they show clips on the pay-per-view again of the previous Smackdown where the boss man showed up at the funeral.
Oh, yeah.
In a Bluesmobile for some reason.
Right, and ties the casket.
And drags it. And the Big Show
and,
surfs on it for a little bit. But then at the end it's just too much and he falls over.
How could you film that with a straight face?
I don't know.
I mean, it's never going to be as good as the British Bulldog and Sting's mini movie.
Well, that was a cinema, I mean.
That's classic. Did they get nominated for anything for that?
I think they did, but, it was a screw job.
Right.
So the Big Show comes out and chokeslams everyone.
Yeah, so it's only versus Big Show. So he comes out, chokeslams everyone until it's just the Big Boss Man, and the Big Boss Man runs away.
Yeah.
I wrote stupid.
Yeah, so again, just showing how the Big Show is dominant and can go through anyone.
How long was that?
The match?
Yeah.
1:24.
Oh my gosh. So how long was the women's? 1:30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Next we have China against Chris Jericho.
This one should have been a minute.
Yeah,
How long was this one?
This was 13:45.
Oh my god! Yeah, I was like, I kept going.
Yeah, it did keep going, and Chris Jericho is getting cheered, but we can't acknowledge that because China has to be more popular.
Was she really that popular?
No, that's the thing. Like they wanted to make it seem that she was, so they just kind of kept pushing it. But even with Chris Jericho, he kind of steps right into the Jeff Jarrett role of being like the chauvinist.
Right.
But even that, he's still getting cheered over China.
Yeah, that's gotta tell you something.
Yeah. So, I mean, Chris Jericho does carry her to, I think, her best match, but there's plenty of times where they could have probably called an audible and just had Jericho win. Like, especially when he counters a Hurricane Rana into the Walls of Jericho. That probably should have been it.
Yeah. I mean, she's just like a very muscly woman, but she doesn't really have any charisma.
Right.
She can't really, I can't cut promos and not the best wrestler.
We were very pissed at 5520 South Mayfield watching this. I can tell you that. Yeah, we were. That was like one of those matches that you do get invested in.
Okay.
And then when the person you want to win loses, it sucks. Even with China hitting a top rope pedigree, which CM Punk would later use as his finisher in the Independence.
Yeah, I didn't know it was. She didn't originate that, did she?
Chris Jericho says that he came up with the idea.
Oh,
and it doesn't seem like anyone else can claim it was used beforehand.
All right. It's like, is any art original, or is it just
repackaging?
Right. Is any wrestling original, or is it just rehashing earlier ideas? Okay. And then we have Too Cool again.
Yeah, so it's the Hollies and Too Cool against Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. And this they go an interesting route here, like Edge is the first guy eliminated.
Yeah, I always would have liked one of them to win, but
And Matt Hardy gets out.
I said much better than the earlier match, the Mean Street Posse, clearly. But yeah, this is definitely a stronger group.
Yeah,
First,
and
whatever match.
I'm a fan of Jerry Lawler's going very over the top with the Too Cool references, and
Oh yeah.
Jim Ross is very upset. Also we should mention.
Oh wait, when is Steve Austin?
Yeah.
When does that happen?
I think that was before the Intercontinental title.
Trucking up.
Yeah, but right before the Intercontinental title match.
JR's trucking up the.
So earlier in the night, there was a promo backstage with The Rock, and Triple H attacked and kind of got separated right away. And then there's a promo with Steve Austin here, and Triple H gets involved again and starts running away. And we see a camera of Road Dogg and X-Pac waiting in a tunnel or something to attack Steve Austin. And Austin's in the parking lot, and a car flashes its light at him mysteriously, and
driving around backstage.
drives very quickly at Steve Austin, and who doesn't decide to move at all.
Right.
And gets hit with the car, and they stop the show for a good 15 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
Making it seem very
the busty
official.
Paramedics there, so that's real.
Yes, that's always your traveling paramedic with big boobs.
Yeah. Obviously.
As one has.
As each local EMT knows.
So he goes into the ambulance. Vince McMahon goes with him, and
JR runs back to
runs back.
Why does he do that?
During Chris Jericho's entrance?
That's the only time I've ever seen him leave his little booth to go.
Well, he had to go check.
Well, it's always backstage. People get hit by cars. It's not the
not
first
all
time.
the time.
Not all the time, but it's not the first time someone's gotten attacked backstage.
Well, yeah, but Steve Austin's special to him. They're friends.
Okay.
It's a little more important than Steve Blackman backing up over Ken Shamrock.
Fair. Okay. All right. Whatever.
So then we find out later that the match is still going to happen. It will still be a triple threat, but without Steve Austin.
Okay. So yes, they're kind of. I thought he was going to come back.
Yeah.
But what did you think at the time?
I wasn't sure what was going to happen. I thought someone else would actually be inserted into the match, and we could talk about that when we get there.
Mm-hmm. Well, someone was.
Right.
We're almost there because these matches are not that good.
I like the two tag teams match was pretty good. I think solid action. They're kind of starting to get behind Hardcore Holly again to kind of heat him up a little bit.
Why are they doing that?
I think they just kind of liked how he worked and liked how he was getting over, I guess.
Got it. Yeah.
And then next we have the New Age Outlaws defending the tag team titles against Al Snow and Mankind.
Mm-hmm. Back again.
Yep, and this is the sad days of Mankind. He's kind of
wandering all around.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it, but I bet if I watched it again, now you told me.
Yeah, he's just not as quick as he used to be, and yeah.
Is this really the end for him, or does he come back?
He ends up wrestling till February, but then he comes back for April, and he has a couple more runs, but this is the end of his making house shows.
Yeah. When does he do Love?
97 and 98.
Oh, I kind of missed that.
Well, we saw it with him versus Steve Austin.
Well, that's true.
With Vince McMahon in his size medium referee T-shirt.
That's right.
Yeah. So but the Outlaws get the win just kind of through chicanery and...
Yeah. It's fine, though.
Yeah.
Good match. It wasn't super long. 13 minutes?
Yeah, it's about
decent.
Right for it's a semi-main event tag match. It's going to get some time.
Right.
And then, Triple H defends the title against The Rock, and Howard Finkel even shrugs his shoulders. He doesn't know who it is.
Fink doesn't know either.
Fink doesn't know, but then the Big Show's music hits, and out comes the Angry Giant.
Yeah, why? Okay, so why'd they put him in?
I think it was a shot just to try and shoot him up. Because he's kind of been... He hasn't gotten to what they've imagined him to be a main eventer. The second he came in, and he hasn't really...
Well, actually, he was so big.
Yeah.
This is the Big's boys.
Yeah. So they brought him in, and he's not quite reaching that, so they're going to try and shoot him up with.
Gotcha.
Give him the rocket boost.
Gotcha. So what happened with Steve Austin?
So Steve Austin, a couple of weeks before this, his neck started hurting him.
Ugh.
And the whole Owen Hart pile driver that he never had surgery on.
Oh.
He needed to have surgery, and it's like a year-long recovery, so he is out. And
so instead he gets hit by a car.
So he got hit by a car.
Seems like a good thing if you have a neck injury.
Yep. And then, so the next night on Raw, they have detectives like going through and asking people for like alibis and stuff. We find out that it was The Rock's car.
Okay.
But The Rock had reported his rental car stolen already.
Oh, all right.
So
who was the driver?
Well, we won't find out because that's the last we hear about it till September.
Oh.
It goes completely
dark.
Dead after one night.
All right.
I think they kind of realized, well, you might be out up to a year. We can't have a week every week, every show.
The next 50 shows.
Yeah, these two detectives are going to come with us every show.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, so I like this triple threat match, though. I think it was the best match on the show, which isn't saying much, but
yeah, right.
I like the. It's always good to see.
They're all over the place.
You see it a lot with Big Show and triple threat matches, or whenever there's a bigger guy in a triple threat match, where the two smaller guys will double suplex them through the table.
Yep.
That's always a fun spot.
Yeah, and then we did. Yeah,
and then at the very end, Vince McMahon comes back.
That's right.
From the hospital and whacks Triple H.
It's Triple
with
H.
the belt. When the Big Show hits a choke slam and pins him against the title.
Yeah, that kind of classic late '90s running all over the ring.
Yeah, and JR declares, "He buried his daddy on Thursday, and tonight he's the world champion," which is a great call.
Yes, it's really coming back from your from coffin surfing.
Yes, I mean he bounced back pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean they're really trying to push him. I'm curious to see how the rest of the year pans out for him.
Yeah, well, it's kind of he gets pushed, but it's not. He's not the focal point of the show, I would say. So, Survivor Series is over. That's usually a good time. What do you think the WrestleMania main event would be at this point?
I mean, probably the Big Show if Steve Austin's going to be out and trying to push him and Triple H.
Okay. Because like last year, I think it was really clear because after Survivor Series '98, that's when The Rock double-crossed and became the corporate champ.
Yeah.
And Steve Austin came out right away to attack him, so you kind of knew that was the two.
So I'm wrong?
No, but I'm just saying now it's kind of a little more jumbled, I think. It's not as clear as...
Wait, so who's the WrestleMania?
Oh, we'll have to wait and see.
I didn't get it right?
You're partially right.
Okay. The Triple H
You're
part?
not wrong.
The Triple H part?
You're not wrong.
Okay. It was a lot of people? And
Maybe.
that's what I'm getting at. Is it like a Royal Rumble WrestleMania?
It's not a Royal Rumble WrestleMania. That would be just ridiculous.
No. The Lumberjack? No?
We'll have to wait and see.
Is it a three tag team match?
Yes, it's a 3 tag team match.
Wait, really?
Well, there is one, but not in the main event.
Okay, we're going to stop this guessing game.
Yes, and then, so afterwards then, all we watched was the Thanksgiving Smackdown food fight. Just kind of a funny little haha.
When did they start that tradition? Is that the first?
That was the first one because it's the first Smackdown. So
okay.
Like the first year of Smackdown. So
I feel bad for those production assistants that just had to set it all on.
Dressed as pilgrims.
Right, obviously.
Some weird Vince McMahon fetishism.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so fun little show there at the end with Fabulous
that.
Moolah smashing a
that's
pie.
Right. She was a pumpkin. No, she was a pilgrim.
And Mae Young was a drunk turkey.
Yeah, that was good. I like how they're just like kind of like the Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, they are. Just kind of
doing what they're doing, cracking mean jokes.
Motoring around.
So, yeah, so some ups and downs in this one. Some odd matches, but good to see Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I like Kurt Angle's debut.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's kind of a show where some of the moments are good and important, but the matches themselves are kind of lacking.
That's a good way to describe it.
Like, Kurt Angle's debut, Steve Austin getting hit with a car is pretty important. It is kind of ridiculous, but it is.
Yeah, it's a plot point. For sure.
Alright, so do you want to do match or grade first?
We'll do the matches first.
Alright. So, What are your top two?
I'm gonna say the Hollies and Too Cool versus the Hardys and Edge, and the triple threat match. What about you?
Yeah, same as you with Edge and Christian and the Hardys, and yeah, I can go with the triple threat.
What were you also considering?
I guess nothing really. Wasn't that good of a show.
Leaving it blank.
Yeah. I mean, I think they tried with Jericho and China, but it was just too long. Like, all of her matches are always too long. I don't know why they think she has to go 13 minutes when 7 minutes would probably be
right.
just as beneficial.
I agree with that. I mean, it was short, but I also still like the match with Mae Young and Fabulous.
The 1 minute
They can
match.
do their thing. Why not?
All right, and then so the rating for the show.
Oy. What do I have? I'm probably gonna put it at probably at a 6. So just like you said, the good moments, but kind of overall lacking. What are you gonna put?
I'll go 6.5. Looking at Unforgiven, I think it was better than that.
Okay, that's fair.
So that's kind of what I'm gonna base it off.
What'd you think at the time? What was your reaction?
I mean, it was exciting because the Big Show was the champion, but I think me, Nick, and Matt all thought it was going to be Test.
Oh, really?
Because he was there. Like, they show him at numerous points. The big thing was DX had broken his nose, like, the week before.
I feel like Test never wrestles. He's just...
Yeah, that's kind of the weird thing. Like, he could easily be a wrestler, and when we get to the next month, he should definitely be a wrestler again, which we'll see, but they're kind of slowly neutering him, I think. Because you can't have another big, tall, blonde, muscular...
Right, Triple H has got that typecast.
Mm-hmm. But, so, when we get back, though, we'll start with, before Armageddon, the pay-per-view, we have Raw is Love.
Okay.
The wedding of Stephanie Marie McMahon and Andrew J. Martin.
At the Staples Center.
Yes, we're all invited.
Okay.
So, that will go off without a hitch, of course, as all wrestling weddings do.
Well, they had one, they had a little preview, or the little skit of, they were at her bridal shower.
That was her bridal shower,
and they're going to Vegas.
They're going to Vegas for the bachelorette party, and we'll see clips of that.
Oh, will we?
Yes, on Raw.
All right.
Of course, Moolah and Mae Young are there because who doesn't want their...
Oh, that'd be fun.
2 80-year-old co-worker, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Weird, like, semi-aunt, kind of.
Yeah, that's an interesting relationship, but I bet they're fun to hang out with.
Yeah, well,
maybe
if you're not, like, being prostituted by them.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Moolah is actually a pretty horrible person.
All right, yeah, I'd be saying that. Well, she's uninvited then to my bachelorette party.
To your bachelorette party, just Mae Young? Just Johnny Mae Young?
Just Mae Young's gonna come.
With her crown?
Yes.
All right, well, we'll see that next time.
Yeah, oh good.
On With This Ring.
All right,
All
bye.
Right, bye.
Wills, 2 will fall. 3 burning rages, no ring can hold. 3 potent desires, only 1 gold. WWF Survivor Series, tonight on pay-per-view.
I'm gonna appoint myself the guest referee at Survivor Series.